Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of Hollywood's biggest disasters, the complete meltdown of Disney's Snow White remake, starring Rachel Zegler. From public backlash to box office catastrophe, this story is packed with drama, controversy, and lessons Hollywood won't soon forget. Let's break it down step by step. And trust me, you don't want to miss this.
And to everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
Here we are.
There's something in our house. Let's put a pickaxe in its brain. You're in marketing. Why do you even bring an axe?
If you were in marketing, you'd know.
Maybe she's been placed under some kind of a curse.
And all that will wake her is the kiss of a handsome...
I'm awake already!
Excuse me, your curtain.
Beware of the evil queen. She's a master of disguise. She could be anyone.
I'll be careful. No, that's too much. Go back outside.
Excuse me, your curtain. Please allow me to help.
Help from you? Spare me your white savior complex.
I didn't mean to offend. I just thought you should know that...
That I should know what? That some privileged white guy thinks his opinion matters? Get over your entitlement. I'm not some damsel in distress waiting for you to ride in on your high horse.
Rachel Zegler, she's an asshole.
I truly do believe that.
Every time she speaks, she gets less likable.
The star, Rachel Zegler, is unbelievably charmless in public.
What would you say to those who are just kind of overly critiquing the film at this point? You've worked so hard on it.
This truly is the worst casting, maybe, in the history of the film industry.
Rachel Zegler is extraordinarily woke, but she's woke in a way that's quite deranged.
No one on the right side of America can stand the star of this movie.
It all started with Disney's bold move, casting Rachel Zegler, a Latina actress, as Snow White. While the intention was to modernize the classic fairy tale, it immediately stirred controversy. Traditional fans felt disconnected, believing that the core essence of Snow White was being changed too much. Rachel's public image, instead of warming hearts, began to rub many people the wrong way.
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true. And so it's just a really incredible story for, I think, young people everywhere to see themselves in.
Snow White is running for president.
I'm launching my campaign. I am.
Her early comments about the character, marketing choices, and general attitude didn't help either. From the very beginning, it seemed like the magic spell wasn't working, and cracks in the castle walls were already forming. Rachel didn't just play Snow White. She had a lot to say about her.
I mean, you know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird. So we didn't do that this time.
In interviews, she called the original story weird and described Prince Charming as a stalker. For millions who grew up loving the 1937 classic, these comments felt like a slap in the face.
Larry, what the hell are you doing?
Larry!
Larry, you can't just... Oh,
Larry! Oh, are you all right? How did...
Barry!
Instead of showing love for the original and then explaining the modern updates, Rachel came off as dismissive, even mocking the beloved story. That move alienated core Disney fans. The audience, who should have been the film's biggest supporters, now felt insulted. Then came another huge misstep, the Seven Dwarfs situation. Peter Dinklage criticized the original movie for being backward.
You're progressive in one way, but you're still making that f***ing backward story of seven dwarves living in a cave. What the f*** are you doing, man?
Prompting Disney to rework the dwarves into magical creatures. Sounds progressive, right? Wrong. The decision offended many in the dwarfism community.
Remaking the movie, they just got rid of the dwarfs, okay?
Okay, but what do they call them?
Why would they
now,
get
too?
rid of the dwarves, though?
Magical
creatures. But they have one token dwarf amongst these magical creatures. You actually just went backwards. You actually just erased the dwarfism side of it. The disability, like we're a disability group, you just erased that whole image. The argument should have been for Peter Dinklage, there's power of being on TV, there's power of television, and to put 7 people with dwarfism on camera in a major Disney movie, there's still power there. If the story is offensive, change the story, don't change the characters.
Advocates pointed out that Disney erased roles that could have offered meaningful representation. As if things weren't messy enough, Rachel made headlines again, this time on social media. After posting a Free Palestine tweet, she stirred political controversy during the film's promotional run. Given that her co-star, Gal Gadot, is Israeli and Jewish, the timing couldn't have been worse. Disney, desperate to keep the focus on the movie, allegedly sent a producer to ask Rachel to remove the tweet. But Rachel reportedly refused. Her stance might have been principled, but from a studio perspective, it added yet another layer of drama at the worst possible time. By the time the film hit red carpets, the tension between Rachel and Gal Gadot was obvious. Photos and interviews showed cold smiles, awkward interactions, and an undeniable distance between the two actresses. Fans noticed. Speculation about their off-screen relationship went viral, adding even more negativity to the already sinking project. Instead of building excitement for the movie, their uncomfortable appearances became memes. Finally, the movie was released, and it was a disaster. Despite Disney spending over $170 million, Snow White's live-action remake bombed hard. It had the lowest opening of any Disney live-action remake, losing an estimated $200 to $400 million. Critics weren't kind, but audiences were brutal. With an IMDb score plummeting to 1.6 out of 10, this wasn't just a bad movie. It was one of the most rejected Disney projects ever made. The dream of refreshing Snow White turned into a nightmare that even Disney couldn't magic away. Online, it got even worse. Memes flooded social media, mocking the movie's feminist messaging, poor CGI, awkward performances, and disastrous marketing. Snow White was nicknamed Snow Woke, and the internet turned it into a cautionary tale about how not to remake a classic. The Simpsons even jumped in, roasting the project in a brutal parody that solidified Snow White's downfall in pop culture history.
The story you're about to tell is the copyrighted property of the Walt Disney Corporation. Can you sharpen these?
Excuse me, but Snow White is a fairy tale from hundreds of years ago. No one owns that.
Are there any dwarves in your story?
Yes, but they're my own original creation.
She's beautiful.
Maybe she's been placed under some kind of a curse.
And all that will wake her is the kiss of a handsome...
I'm awake already. Goodbye.
When the Simpsons make fun of you, you know it's bad. Behind the scenes, the damage was even more severe. Sources say Rachel Zegler became a brand risk. Rumored roles and projects that once buzzed around her name suddenly fell silent. Casting calls moved on without her. Hollywood, the same place that had once rolled out the red carpet, was now reportedly keeping its distance. It's a brutal reminder. One bad project, especially one wrapped in controversy, can derail a rising star's entire trajectory overnight. The Simpsons parody wasn't just funny, it was devastating. They created a character clearly modeled after Rachel, mocking her activism, her movie's failure, and even the empty theaters. It wasn't just a joke, it was cultural confirmation that Snow White had become a Hollywood punchline. For Rachel, it wasn't just about a movie flopping anymore. It was about becoming the example everyone points to when talking about how good intentions, bad PR, and total disconnect with your audience can destroy a career. So where does that leave Rachel Zegler? Right now, it looks like she's in Hollywood's penalty box, silent on social media, no new projects announced, and tons of rebuilding to do. But remember, Hollywood loves a comeback story. If Rachel can learn from this, refocus, and reconnect with audiences authentically, there might still be a second act waiting for her. But the shadow of Snow Woke will be a hard one to outrun. Only time will tell if she can rewrite her own story, or if this fairy tale really is over. What do you think? Is Rachel Zegler done in Hollywood? Or is a comeback still possible? Let us know in the comments below. And if you love breaking down Hollywood's biggest dramas, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe for more.